Hey, how's it going? It's Grant with the Garden of Eater.
And Shelby.
And today we're going to talk about basically everything we got to do to get prepared for a contest, a show, and then as well as what you should do if you're going away on vacation. It's not really a vacation for us, it's kind of like a business trip. However, basically what we're doing for everything around the house is the same. We're leaving for 5 days. So if you want to figure out how the best way to take care of your fish. And now we have a ton of oh man, I did it backwards. If you want to find out how to take care of your shrimp, and now we have a ton of fish while you're gone on vacation, we're going to give you all of our tips, go through everything that we had to do and take care of in the past week. Actually, it's been the past 2 weeks for us. And then last week on Wednesday, that was a very productive live stream for the team as well as Sean of Aquashella. We got through and tackled a bunch of different topics and rules with the Aquascape contest. And we really didn't have time to go through chat. That was like one of our longest streams, as it already was. And at 2.5 hours, it would have been probably 3.5 if we had been bouncing through chat and whatnot. So tonight, I thought we'd spend a little extra time answering anybody's questions, especially if you answered it last Wednesday. Let me know, and I will take a little extra minute and go into detail on those questions for you guys. So let's start it off.
Welcome, Crypt Keeper.
Well, before we go on past Crypt Keeper, I'd like to point out he is an excellent mod of ours. He goes above and beyond. We don't ask him to share around our links or anything like that. He just does it on his own. It's great support. And he also got a package from us recently where he got our Soy Ahoy. We got the labels right here going on, fresh bags going out. But he will have a review video going on his channel. I think it's live tomorrow. I don't know what time, Crip. I'm sorry. I didn't have everything laid out, but you're in chat, so you can tell everybody what time it premieres. And he said he fed it to all of his tanks, and I'm really excited for it because it's like our first video review about it. I've gotten a bunch of feedback, and it's all been great so far. In fact, we sold so many bags that we had to buy more bags just to have enough of it for Triple Crown, and then I wouldn't be surprised if we had to bag up more for Aquashella, which is the following week. So when I talk about like just leaving away and going for a couple days, we're gone for 5 days. We get back for 2 or 3 and then leave again for another 4 or 5 days. So we got to make sure the house is pristine. But I always go on about how easy the shrimp are and that we could leave for 2 months. And, 2 months after we've gone through and done through all these steps. But we could, have some shrimp die off and stuff like that. But for every shrimp that died in the tanks, we'd have probably 30 to 60 babies. So I always say if we left for 2 months, we just come back to a bunch of babies, no real issues. But I would have to jump right into doing a bunch of large water changes and getting to it. So
welcome in, Scuba. And then Crypt Keeper said, "Hey, Grant and Shelby, that was a massive pile of moss containers you posted. Where are you heading with it all?" We are heading to Louisville, Kentucky for the Triple Crown. I am actually super stoked for this one. I like it because it's going to be a lot of fish nerds at this one, so I'm excited. And I have a lot of fish on my wish list, so I'm hoping to pick that up. Grant disappeared again. But yeah, that is a lot. And if we don't sell it at Triple Crown, like we said, Aquashella Dallas is right after it, so they'll be fine just for the show too.
Oh, I wanted to talk about the moss. I made it back just in time. And one of the things, like, because we did bring in the stream, it's like preparing for the shows. Last year was our first year doing shows. We started at the Coral Springs Aqua Expo, which was actually the ALA, the American Live Bearers Association Expo as well. So that was like our very first crack at doing a table. And, it's kind of like the ALA. We've come a long way since last year's show. And one of the issues with the bags and how we were doing the moss was they kind of leak on the air a little bit sometimes, and for that reason, some of them we'd have to rebag and whatnot. Also, they're hard to take out, so when we get home, if any of the moss isn't still fresh and lively for Aquashella, I can just throw it into tanks, grab fresh moss, and put it into the container, and not have to rip a bag and rewrite on a Sharpie or cut it open or anything like that. So we're definitely learning these containers that we're using. They're a little bit bigger than the ones that we ship out in. So they are like show portions and sizes, but it's working a lot easier for us. And we can bag up the moss, because I don't know if a lot of people realize like how hardy the moss really is. But if you have like a hair allergy issues with your moss, you can take that moss and store it in no light in like a cupboard for like 2 to 3 weeks. And the hair allergy will die of lack of light. But the moss, literally, we have tanks that were in the garage or substrate that's in there for ages, and it's still got like a little hint of green left, and it's growing in the tanks that were dried out. So it's very resilient. It can come back, and that's why we were bagging up all of the moss first thing.
You were already answering the questions.
Scuba Steve's like, start early, don't be afraid. I'm like, Shelby literally sat down after I said 30 seconds left. So,
hello, Ed. Welcome in. And Mason. And there is the link for the Triple Crown event. Hopefully we can meet some people there.
I'm super excited. I'm going to meet a bunch of new faces. And then also, like, I get to see some great people like Chris Biggs, Chattanooga Ed, James, Lefty, the whole Fish Fam game that we only get to see really at...
No, turn off the Xbox.
Oh, shoot.
It's good getting invites.
That needs to be like part of the routine for the kids. They're gonna have to turn off the Xbox now. But yeah, like all the Fish Fam people. If I didn't mention someone, don't be ashamed. We got everybody clear of Fish Fam, but we just don't get to hang out with all these people too often, and we'll be able to get to see them.
Hello, Spaz Network.
And we're also riding up there with Lucas Bretts. So you better believe if we stop at a nice rest stop and there's some water, there's something to check out, we'll be getting some content. And then speaking about content, we did not put out a video this week. We were doing pretty well. We were getting a video out every week. However, with the Triple Crown and everything going on, we did not have enough time. And the video just would not have had any justice. But we have done a lot of work outside. And I think when we get back from Dallas, we're going to have a retour video of Shrimp Pimpin's house, Ruben. And we can put that together while I'm filming and doing all the work that I want to get done outside, and hopefully finish up a couple of other things. But a lot of things have been happening outside, inside. Shelby escaped the tank. It's gorgeous. I'm looking at it right now. We can't show you any pictures of it. It's going to be a contest tank. It really hurt to watch her do it, because I was like, I'm so jealous. I wanted to escape one, and
his hands in my tanks constantly, and I'm like, you're itching to aquascape, aren't you? I'm like, leave me alone. I'm like, I don't want you to be involved at all, because everyone always gives you the credit for everything. So don't touch it.
This one's all Shelby.
He did critique me. He's very good at that. But I wouldn't get any better if I didn't have a good critic.
I'll be her best critic, because
makes me cry a little. Don't worry.
I don't know. I take it up a little notch. There's one rock I see from here. You're gonna have to get that back, but that's it. I mean, besides that, she worked with everything, and then going through the moss, I kept finding little plants. I'm like, Shelby, use this one. It's really nice. So we ended up finding a lot of stuff to fill out the tank. And we're also bringing it to Aquashella. So it'll be entered in the contest before then. Then we'll be able to share it and bring it to Aquashella. It'll be at the Carib Sea booth. I know I told them I was going to escape it, but Shelby's tank looks incredible. So it's going instead of the one I was going to bring. We will also bring the same tank that Shelby escaped for the state fair that was at Aquaticon to Kentucky, and also to Aquashella, because it's got the weeping moss on it, and that stuff sells like hotcakes because everybody's like, "Oh, what's that? It looks really cool." Well, it's the weeping moss. I don't know how many
strong,
containers
honestly.
did we have of weeping moss.
No.
But almost all that
At least
moss
12.
that we bagged up for the show came out of our bedroom and the new rack. And then there's a couple tanks in Jaden's room because his room has the surplus of enormous, copious amounts of weeping moss. So we definitely went through there, rated 3 tanks worth, and we should have plenty. If not, that stuff's easy enough. And I thought I'd talk about like prepping for the moss. It's a little difficult for the shrimp tanks because there's so many little tiny babies, especially this time of the year. Like our tanks are really just slammed. And I can't believe it because we've sold more shrimp this year than last year. Caridina sales are picking up again. They kind of went like in a dip. It was really like bad for a little while. I'm really happy I did all the Neos outside, but like my favorite part of the hobby is the crossbreeding, the genetics with the Caridina shrimp. And if there's not that many other people out there working on it and breeding, you don't really have that too much info to bounce off of one another. Like one of the people that I really used to go back and forth with was Andrew Wayne, and he's just really not in the hobby at all anymore. I think he keeps like 16 tanks, but how often that guy even looks at them, I don't know. But he's not interested in competing anymore. Doesn't really work on new projects. He's kind of just keeping everything going what he has. But I've seen people get reintroduced to the hobby and take back off again. So hopefully he's one of them that will because he's so big into crossbreeding.
Ooh, let's catch up on chat though.
Go ahead.
Did just refresh. Look how much there is. Hello, Arctic Winds and Nano Aquarium Guy and Scott's Aquatics. Scuba Steve said, if you have any Anubis Nana, you should bring some for me to the crown.
I will have, I think, 10 pots of Anubis Nana. But I think I have like Barteri Nana, a couple different types of Nana. I have some Golden Nana. I have some Petite. So we have definitely stepped up our game. I am determined to get Shelby away from the corporate enemy and get her working for me full time. So we have gone through and made an order through a nursery since we can't possibly grow Anubis fast enough just to please ourselves for our aquascaping. But what we can do is keep plants nice, healthy, and algae-free and pest-free. And I think that's one of the big issues with those potted plants that you see at pet stores. They can come with scuds. They can come with other different things. Well, if you buy ours at the Triple Crown, the worst thing that they're going to come with are some like daisy rice fish eggs or some killifish eggs or something along those lines that Shelby's not going to want to let go, but they're going on the plants regardless. But hopefully there's not any eggs on them because we want those on the mops, not the potted plants. But everything from Anubis to pink. I don't know if we can see them up here. Oh, there's one. There's one in the very corner. No, it's a tiger lotus. So we're gonna. I think we have 6 or 8 pots of those that we're gonna be bringing. Because Shelby's keeping 2 of them to add to that tank. She loves them. But again, we're gonna keep everything to our quality and standards. We've already left behind a couple of things. Mm-hmm. So.
And it's gonna be propagated and most of it would be grown here in-house. It's just getting us started because we fell behind with selling too much. So it just helps us get ahead.
And the other thing is we want more different varieties. So every time we order some plants from this bigger nursery, we're adding on different types of crypts, stems, Anubis. I think we bought all of the different types of Anubis, though. We got that one covered this time. So yeah, we're working on swords and then stems. And then we also got an assortment of pond plants in too. We've got the sensitive plant. It's not like sensitive to the touch, but if it rains or if it gets ruffled, it will kind of close up on itself.
It's beautiful. It's really pretty on top. It's something that it's good for any pond.
And then we even went real basic and we got 2 different types of water spray because we're doing a lot of fish and
fish love basic plants. They do not care. They want that coverage. So like guppy grass and water sprite and Java ferns are where it's at for sure. Anything that grows in LED light, really easy water. I love any fish tank with that. And there's even ones with weights on the bottom, so bare bottom tanks, you can still put that in. It's easier to move a plant like that into another tank if they lay their eggs on it, so works out. Hello, Chris George. And hello, Killer Kitty. I said hello, making sure there wasn't a question. Hello, Johnny B. I think you're one of the ones that I need an email for, too.
How's it going, Mystery Snail Guardians?
Nailed it. I love it when they come in. That's what they say. Makes my day. Hello, Scotty the Fish Freak. And we are going on. Hello, Fish Tank Dad. And it's a question. How many tangerine tigers should I start with in a 4-gallon cube? They will be the only inhabitants.
I would get 10. I really don't like to start a colony with less than 10 shrimp. We recommend 1 or 2 at least per gallon to start out. So, but again, the bare minimum for me to start a colony is 10. So you could have up to like 400 shrimp in that tank before you had to worry about it. But I wouldn't start with that many.
And this is the link to the Soy Ahoy review.
And if you haven't watched Crypt Keeper's videos, I am very impressed with the way he puts them all together. Very surprised that he doesn't have more followers. So head on over there when you're done watching the stream. Check his channel out. Give him a nice subscribe. Turn on the notifications and make sure you I think you can actually alert and turn on the notification for that video so you know when that comes on.
Hello, Gary. And we got Michelle. Welcome in.
So as soon as we get back from Dallas, we were going to bring some of Gary's fish with us to the Triple Crown, but because we have to leave early and how long we'll be at the show, Gary just thought that it wasn't best for us to bring the fish with us. So we are going to add him onto a tab and have his fish available on the website because Crypt Keeper, and while he's on topic, he can vouch for us, but he's got some of our dwarf neon rainbows that we got through Gary, and they fared through shipping just fine. We used 2 different methods, and it's all homebred, sourced locally here in Florida. So, Scuba Steve, that is great to hear, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how many tanks you got at your house, Steven? You know what I'm thinking? Is they're going to have all of those empty tanks left over from the ACA? And I'm just like, I know I can get 32 of them in my truck on the way home. How many can Lucas Brett's fit in the Sprinter van on the way home? And then is he trying to bring home tanks too? So
it'd be like you guys have to find a way home. That would be funny.
We'll just rent a trailer, a U-Haul trailer, and we'll take them all. Joke's on everyone.
Spaz said, I've been talking to you guys on Facebook Messenger the last few days asking questions, and you guys been fantastic at answering. Looking forward to purchasing my first shrimp from you.
Oh.
Ever.
I'm always down to talk shrimp, and you have any more questions, want to touch back up on anything, feel free to answer in chat tonight. That's what keeps everything going on. You guys make the better chats. Unless we had, guests or something like that, they can definitely step it up. It was a great talk last time with Sean. I mean, you can really see his passion come through when he got on stream. So,
and Spaz said, yeah, they eased my mind about the heat the way it is. Yep, we have shipped numerous times. You'd be surprised how many people worry about something that we know it's not going to be a problem.
One of the things I wanted to bring up is we do pack all of this shrimp on Tuesday, and there is a pretty high chance that we'll sell all the shrimp at Triple Crown just because of how many people are coming, not a lot of vendors, and we're not going to overpack. We're going to bring about the same that we usually do to all the shows, and we usually sell out of everything. Like at the last show, we sold all of our shrimp because at the end, someone local bought all of it. At Aquashella, we sold all of the shrimp because we had a wholesale pet store come through and buy all of it. So I'm going to bring a healthy load. I just don't want to bring too much that we overfill 2 tables, but we definitely pack the bags. And one of the things is like people are like, oh, I'm here till Sunday. How long are they good in the bags? And I tell people, look, we pack them for shipping, where they go through hot portions of transit and heat up, cool down, etc. And they're good for over 2 weeks. And we had somebody who our box of shrimp, for whatever reason, got stuck at our Ybor facility, which is the very first distribution center that they go from out of Florida to, and it was stuck there for over a week. And the person's like, well, when should I get worried about it? And I checked the order. If it was stardust or something a little bit more sensitive to heat, the tigers especially, they can, take a loss or two in the higher temperatures. But neocardinas, they're outside in some of the barrels, and they're up into the 90s, especially with this heat index that we're having. It's so hot outside, even when you wake up in the morning. Like, I cut the grass an hour ago. It's nice and cool, sun's down and everything like that, and the grass isn't soaking wet, so it wasn't humid. And you cut the grass in the morning, it's humid, and you're breaking a sweat. And I weed whack the grass. I don't even mow it.
Crypt Keeper said has arrived with 100-degree weather, all healthy and happy.
But the shrimp were in transit for 10 days, showed up. It was over 100 neocardinas in the box, no DOAs. The person was more than happy, so.
Nope, you're on time, Lefty. How you doing? Hello, Cherie.
Bloomfield's in the house. We had to we sold out of all of the complete foods and had to tap into the box for the show.
Yeah, couldn't believe that. It's going off the website faster than we can bring it to the show. So that's a great sign. Crypt Keeper said it was packed very well. No issues at all for me traveling from Florida to New York. Love to hear that. Sometimes in New York, it's got several little people it goes through, so it's always good to hear that through New York as well.
Catch up on here.
You left me hanging.
My allergies are going.
Because now it's just quiet while I'm trying to find out with the next person. Oh. Hello, Jeffrey Brown. Hello, Mark Sturleson. Hope I said that right. Hello, Stephen P. He is in the hotel in Memphis, halfway to Louisville.
All right, did I miss anything?
No. Stephen P., they are on their hotel in Memphis, halfway to Louisville.
Oh, very nice. Have a safe trip the rest of the way, man. So, go ahead.
Big Dog said, can you have plecos with shrimp?
So you can. However, just the way you feed plecos and shrimp, they're both like group feeders. So when you feed an algae wafer, zucchini, or something like that, it seems like after 2 inches or so, baby shrimp are also on the pile, and that bristle nose or pleco or whatever you have goes over the baby shrimp, and it just sucks it up while it's eating zucchini. So after 2 inches, if you're not worried about babies, if it's just blue dreams and you've got a tank full of them, go for it. But if you've got boa shrimp and you don't want those babies getting eaten up, I wouldn't put any plecos in there.
Hello, Skull Aquatics. Welcome in. Ed said he's going to be ordering some shrimp from the Bloomfield soon, and he likes it.
Oh, and Lefty's not even late at all. When he said hi, that was like 20 minutes ago.
Right.
Or
yeah,
a full Rico behind, huh?
And he said, "Yay, free eggs! Who doesn't love free eggs?"
So I got some plants coming tomorrow, and I hope that they have some of the orange Madaka daisy rice fish. Not daisy rice fish. Orange Madaka rice fish. I'm so sorry. I'd like to get back to my moss prep,
No,
though.
you're not allowed to talk tonight. This is all my stream now. Shoot.
All right, ladies and gents.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
So, because we have so many shrimp tanks, they're perfect for growing moss. They're also perfect nurseries for babies. So, what we've been doing is going through, grabbing the moss. I've got an empty, brand new 10-gallon tank on the counter. I'll put RO water with minerals in it, already pre-mixed and everything like that. Fill it up with about 3 to 4 inches of water. I'll throw the moss in there, and I basically shake the living crap out of it and catch any of the babies, put it back, shake the living crap out of it, catch the babies, and then as I portion it out, I shake the portions and catch any babies that I see. So some of the moss, especially like the weeping moss in the zebra ghost bee tank, I was catching babies like for 2 or 3, dips, major dips, and then I probably caught 38 babies out of that tank, even after going back and checking the rims. They're just so hard to see. So that tank was by far the worst, but yeah, that's our method. I do leave like a little tiny bit of water in all of the cups, because even with doing that, we've still had where Pintos were on the moss crawling around in the bag 3 days into the show. And the guy's like, "Oh, look at this!" And he wanted to buy. I gave him the shrimp for free. He took the shrimp out, put it in some treated water, and took it home. But it really works well to get most of the shrimp out. I just think it's funny because I send the moss to wholesale to stores sometimes, and I'm like, "Hey, how am I doing on getting the babies out?" And they never respond. So I feel like I'm just doing a horrible job, and everybody's getting free shrimp in it, but I can't have the tanks jam-packed of moss. One of the tanks, Shelby's like, when I told her that I got all the moss from the entire table, when it wasn't as full as it is, but like I said, I mean, the flame moss and the weeping moss, everything else came from our bedroom. Oh, the giant willow moss too. That originally came from Jeffrey Brown, but he gave me so much of it, and it's like tripled in each one of the tanks. So I cut every tank in half. So we'll have giant willow moss for the first time available at the show, but everything else came from the bedroom. And she's like, "Am I gonna go to like a naked tank room?" And I'm like, "No, it's not that bad." And she's like, "It's got to be that bad." I'm like, "No, like if you want more Christmas moss, I can get more Christmas. I can get more mini Christmas. I can get more this, that." But the only tank that really had to go down to bare bottom was, well, besides the Galaxy tank, I wanted to be able to see all those, and I couldn't believe how many babies and shrimp, full-grown shrimp, are in that. Like when you feed that tank, they don't all come out. A lot of them stay behind in the moss. There's just so much moss. We're drowning in moss with this many tanks. So I'm trying to find different outlets. I'm really hoping these shows, and we're known for having, the most healthy. It doesn't have planaria, hydra. Everything should be algae free. The only thing it might have is baby shrimp, and Shelby's eggs are actually out of all the moss. So we don't have to worry about fish. The only thing you really have to worry about is snails. That's what I meant to say. Because we keep snails in all of our tanks. So I'm not really worried about it. And if you are, then get tissue cultures. That's the only thing I got to say, because everybody's moss is going to come with snails. It's crazy if it doesn't, especially in a shrimp tank. So
I have to tell the story you forgot to tell.
I forgot. That's why you're here.
So when one of the first aqua shells we did and packed up the moss, we learned, I don't know if you did say it or not, I wasn't listening, but we learned out the hard way that shrimp will get stuck in there. And one of the customers has gotten the bag. Oh, you did say
I gave it to him for free, treated water, the whole story.
You told him about the bottled water?
The treated water. It was a bottled water.
It was Zephyr Hills
but it was treated. A little bit of dechlorinator in it. But yeah.
I don't listen.
Made it home.
Clearly.
She never listens to me.
I had to go get a drink.
You were here. I swear maybe she wasn't. I don't pay attention when she's here or not. That's the beauty.
It's a mutual thing.
So.
And Scotty said Killy's eggs. Yes, maybe. You never know. I never see them, so it's been like the hardest thing for.
And she's got babies
me to get.
in her one tank now that she got all of the other things out of all the other fish out of there. What
Yeah.
did they say?
Things. Yeah,
So.
the mama was still there. The dad was taken out, and then all of a sudden we had babies in the tank, and I was like, "What? They've probably been breeding this whole time, and the male must have been eating the eggs or something."
So we're 15 minutes behind. Let's try and get 10 minutes behind. And
well,
then
I'll You're the one who's talking.
I haven't even gotten
Get
to
out
like
of
what
here.
we're doing to make sure everything's
Big Dog said,
vacation safe.
"Can you save shrimp if they have an infection?"
Yes, we actually have a video on shrimp bacterial infections and how to treat it. Crypt Keeper, if you could be so kind to send that link over for Big Dog. I don't have time to go into all of that because it's a good detailed video with, what we use to treat and everything like that. So I feel like Crypt Keeper just said Big Dog and it's coming without me having to ask for it. But
and Lefty is fighting over the Killy's eggs for Scotty. He's going to be there inspecting all the plants to try to find some eggs. Oh.
How's it going, Matt?
How you doing, Matt? My favorite plant of all I have is Bulbitis Fern I bought from you guys at Aquaticon. It's so dark green and beautiful. I love to hear that. It's one of our favorite plants.
And we're not bringing any of it with us to any more shows because we sold all of it that I ever wanted to sell at Aquaticon. And yeah, I wish I didn't because there's other tanks that we're setting up now. And I'm like...
He's always upset when I have him sell the Bulbitis. But look how happy.
Oh no, I'm happy it went to a good person.
Can you have Killy's clownfish with shrimp?
Yeah, it's a good option. Just remember, what fits in a fish's mouth will be food, and baby shrimp can still fit in a large clown killy's mouth. So if you don't feed them, they will find a way to eat them.
So I would say a heavily planted tank and then feed them live foods. Live foods will help keep them off the shrimp.
And then Crypt Keeper, thank you so much. The shrimp of the week this week is the Yellow King Kong. So they are available $4 a piece. Everything is buy 10, get 3 free because we're traveling. We won't be getting any of the packages out until we get back next Monday. If you place them tonight, or early enough tomorrow morning, we will get the boxes out on Tuesday tomorrow. However, we decided to run this sale throughout the entire month and then the first week of August because we will be gone and won't be able to get the orders. So extra goodies for everybody who places orders. And buy 20 culls, get 10 free on the Neos. So
you write that down because I'm not going to remember that.
Write what down?
Every 20.
I'll remember that. I'm here with you until Aqua Shell. I'm not going golfing. I don't got time. I'll be here every day.
I'm still the one doing it, and I will forget.
I found a few shrimp with translucent tails in my Bloody Mary tanks. Is that an issue? So you just probably want to get those out of there because they might be like broken pattern red really. You can get the Riley pattern to show out of the Bloody Marys. So it can fill out as they grow with age, but if they're male, you'd probably want to get them out anyways. It's not good genetics to have in there.
I don't know what that was too.
Gary Lang?
No, for the shrimp or the fish, no.
For the eggs. No. He's I don't know if
he's talking about the fish. Gary from Gary Aquatics.
No. Not this is GK Aquatics.
Hello, Jeff Kane.
Gary actually wants rainbow eggs from Gary Lane, and I'm gonna try my hardest to get those. I think a lot
of people are talking to this person. Got a lot of good stuff. Verily said, "Oh, hello. If I didn't say hello to you, my neon yellows you sold me love the food fight pellets. Yes, that's good. I love those.
It's a great food. Any of the Shrimp Envy foods are excellent variety to add to anybody's assortment of food.
Lefty asked, you guys gonna have stuff for sale at Dallas too? Well, I hope so. We should.
Yeah, so
we'll leave stuff at home.
I'm actually working with Eddie to do plants, and he was with us on this order. We got a bunch of potted plants. So he'll be able to take in, if we sell everything at Aquatic, or so crazy about Aquaticon, if we sell everything at the Triple Crown, I can place an order and get that taken care of. So that way we have more plants to go with us to Aquashella. But we have so much Java fern, so much moss, ferns, and shrimp that I won't have to worry about selling out of all of that. So
look, Matt said you're gonna bring a healthy what now?
I can't remember.
Too long ago.
Matt catches all the stuff that I don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, healthy load. It's going to be a healthy load. I mean, whether you want it or not, you know?
I say those things on purpose, and then I forget that I say that.
We're going.
We're 14 minutes behind instead of 15 minutes behind with trying to keep up with chat.
See what sold out. We need to talk, friends. We got you covered.
Not sold out of the box you just sent, but I had ordered food just for the show, and we had to already tap into that food. So you'll be the first one to know if Thursday, Friday is coming along and we've sold out of everything. We'll be getting more food before we have to leave. We don't leave to Aquashella until Wednesday early morning, so we have Monday and Tuesday receive fresh orders of shrimp food. Again, if we just have shrimp food, shrimp, moss, and ferns at Aquashella, I'm fine with that. But we'll have other potted plants and everything else too. Lots of sorts.
Rarely said, Shelby, you're a master packer with the newspapers. Gotta say. Thank you so much. I don't know if you've ever heard the backstory, but I used to work at Subway. I was a manager there, and that's where we got the burrito wrapping from. That's how you wrap a Subway sandwich, and we just wrap it several times instead of just the once I would wrap the sandwich in. So it works out pretty good.
I'd love to work at Subway for a day and just wrap a sub and just be ha ha, and be like, you don't have any work experience. Be like, you did check, right? I don't have any work experience, anywhere. Never on the books.
You learned from a sandwich artist, you know? Oh, I'm not kidding. Subway makes you take classes to become a sandwich artist is what I'm called.
She's got a Subway master degree. A sandwich master's degree.
I was really good. There was specific people that would come to our store instead of the other ones, and racked up our sales for the few years I was a manager. So very proud of that.
Rarely ever eat sandwiches now, though.
No, we don't walk into Subway at all. The smell just kills us. I don't know. It's a weird Italian dressing. Weird. It's not a good smell. It's not.
Pull up Gary's comment. This is Gary when we're talking about Gary that will be dealing with all of his homebred fish. Pulling eggs this morning. I got Daisy rice fish, stir by Corey's,
spaghetti Achilles, and dropped a tray with 40 plus dwarf neon rainbow eggs.
It's a rough morning. Baguette, and I'm like, that is not a
baguettes.
I'm dyslexic, so I'm like, there's no way there's.
I wish I could come up with a new fish that looks like a loaf of bread and call them baguettes. That'd be so good. I wanted to read this because I'm so happy about this, but I'm so proud of the Spaghetti Achilles. That's pretty cool. I'm still struggling with mine.
I do want to throw some of the rainbows outside.
But I did get my tequila fish to breed. I got little babies. So that was fun. It was playing tank hop with the mother, so she would actually lay her eggs and the other ones wouldn't eat them.
I think it's because I fed her a live shrimp.
Birth and all the work you did feeding one live shrimp got her to lay.
All of them
give birth.
One shrimp cull. Basically, I put 3 shrimp in the tank to see if they would be able to make it with those type of fish. No, That was sacrificial.
Hello, Street Trash. Barely said, I put 3 peppered Cory in my 10-gallon shrimp tank. All good so far. Yep.
Might not see very many buried up. We had a tank with pygmy Corys, and our red cherries stopped producing eggs altogether. We took the Corys out, and then all of a sudden, every single one of the red cherries females got pregnant before the first water, or like right at the first water change. So,
Crip said, what has to cross to get a Pinto shrimp? What about to get the back line to form?
all right. So it depends on the type of Pinto, but you basically just need a Tiger and Taiwan B, and you have to back cross with Taiwan B in selective grade. If you want the back line, you have to have a Serrata Tiger, so Tangerine, Aurora, or the Cheetahs. That's a German Tiger is without the Serrata gene, and then the Galaxies and Boas, the Nanashi, the back lines, those are all like Japanese Serrata Pintos. Not Japanese, but Asian. I don't know.
Jeffrey said, glad to hear that on the Willow. Yes, it's gorgeous. Spaz said, would I get a decent amount of males and females by ordering 15 shrimp?
So we sell all juveniles. Like, I do not have time. We sell way too much shrimp. I don't have any time to selective sex the shrimp. We catch them about pinky nail size, 1 centimeter. They acclimate, they adapt to your tank the best. They actually will end up producing babies at a faster rate than females who might be really old, really far along in the breeding cycles and just go through too much stress, end up dying in shipping or anything like that. So for that reason, 1 centimeter is what we send, and I don't have time to sex. If you order more than 9 shrimp, you have a 97% chance of getting male and female. So 15 is a great percentage. You should get about half and half.
Stephen, respect the snails. I know so many people actually come up to us at the shows and they're just like, I can't stand those snails. And I'm like, I feel you don't like nature too much. If you don't like natural things that occur, where these animals are coming from. So, I mean, obviously some of them would be not pond snails, but yeah.
How's it going, Rob?
How you doing, Rob?
All right, before I answer Crypt Keeper, I got to go into the talk. If I don't do it before the first hour, we're going to get lost in chat, and we're never going to catch up. So basically, if you want to know how and what we do for vacation, the first thing is we do water changes, heavy water changes on everything before we leave. So in the last 2 weeks, the whole house and everything outside got at least 50% water changes. Some of them 80 to 90%. It just really depended on the load and how much shrimp are in the tanks. Don't be afraid to do that large of water changes. As long as the water inside the tanks matches up with the water that you're putting inside with the water change, everything should take the stress and acclimation and everything like that just fine. And we fill up as fast as we can without disrupting the soil. So it did take us some time to do all 300 tanks in the house, but we got it done. And then we fed everything to the point where tomorrow is going to be, the last day that we're here at the house. We'll go through, feed everything. What we're going to do is feed 1 pellet of shrimp envy complete, and then like 2 pellets, or depending on how many tanks. But on average, like for 10-gallon tanks, that's what we're going to feed most of our tanks. And the rest is going to be the soy ahoy. And this is like a vacation food. And the reason why we can overfeed is everything will probably jump on the shrimp envy complete right away. And then the soy ahoy will be left in the tank for the next couple of days. It breaks up into so much little tiny pieces. That's why they call it like a snowflake food, is because it looks like white snow has gone across the bottom of the tank. You'll see it tomorrow in Crypt Keeper's video. If you're new to the video, Crypt Keeper has a review of the soy ahoy going out tomorrow, so check out his channel. And it doesn't pollute the water, so it's not going to make a lot of ammonia or anything like that. And if the shrimp don't eat it right away, it feeds and grows biofilm on it, so the shrimp can come back to it, eat the biofilm, even if they're not eating the snowflake food itself. They'll still be getting nutrition out of that food, and you can overfeed and not have to worry about it mucking up the water. So that's what we're gonna do. I also had to make sure, like, we have some cameras in the backyard that aren't hooked up right to direct electric, so we had to make sure that the batteries on those are all replaced because we're leaving for 2 weeks. So I didn't want to have to check them again when we got back. And then I know I have Dante here. He's not going to be here the entire time. He's sleeping on the couch though. Pulls out to a bed. He's got instructions to feed the dogs, feed the turtles, feed the koi fish. But we're not going to have him feed any of the fish inside the house or any of the shrimp inside the house. We could very easily go through and get little tiny bags and say, hey, feed this on Friday, feed this on Sunday, so space it out. But shrimp, fish, they go several days in different seasons of the year where they don't have food for a week or two, and it's really no problem for us to go 5 days, come home, feed everything for 2 days, and then leave for another 4 days, come home, and pick up on feeding everything. Like I mentioned, we could really leave all the shrimp behind for 2 months and not have to worry about anything. However, the fish that Shelby has added onto the new additions, I wanted to think about the fry and mention that too, and I got distracted. But the fish are going to be an issue if you're going to go a couple weeks. So we do have a couple of friends, like I mentioned, Dante. He's fed our fish before, no problems. And we do have Eddie. Eddie lives really close by. Also, with the cameras inside the house, if we see any leaks or anything, if we hear any of the leak detectors go off on the cameras, I can call up Eddie, and Eddie can swap out any of the tanks, any leaky issues or anything like that. So that's really like peace of mind when leaving, is having somebody, another hobbyist in your hometown that can, in an emergency, stop by the house and fix an issue. And then Dante will check up on all the fish, and if there's a tank that's got belly up fish or something like that, Eddie can come by, do an emergency water change, take care of that. But we've never had anything like that in the past. Eddie's never had to come save the day for fish related things. And then the other thing is, like, we let all the neighbors know that we're leaving, so they can keep an eye out for us. We have really good neighbors, especially across the street. He's always outside, so if anything suspicious was happening, or one of our dogs got loose or something like that, we'd have someone be able to bring them in for us. I think that's everything. Just making sure that your tanks are clean, everything's fed well before you leave, and if you can, use the soy ahoy, the snowflake food, so that way you can overfeed and not have to worry about the water changes that you did. It would be counterproductive if you overfed. As much as I love the food fight food, a little bit of it goes a long way. So I definitely wouldn't do or the complete, either one of those foods. It just seems like the soy ahoy, snowflake, there's no repercussions with overfeeding. We have tanks that shrimp just don't eat it for weeks, and it just grows biofilm. And the next time we come around with feeding the snowflake, we'll just skip that until the next feeding. So it's a really great vacation food. And then another thing I got on the list is the electric bill. It went up another $100. So I don't know if we're going to have to cut some costs to make things a little bit more efficient, or just realize we're doing so much more. Of course, it's going to cut costs. But when we've sold more shrimp already than last year, and our electric bill's not double what it was last year, it's just $200 more than what it was last year. It's a little more. You can go ahead and do the donation jingle.
What?
We got double of them now.
What? Hold on.
You don't have to scroll. Oh, okay.
I do have to find it. Tater salad, shrimp Snurred for life. Loving it. Thank you so much.
That's what we're all about. If you want to talk shrimp, you're in the right place.
Chattercrot said, stopping by to drop a like and show some support. Catch y'all on the replay. Thank you so much.
Much appreciated. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. And we're going to try and keep it lively for you to watch the replay. And if you did watch all the way till that and you wanted to know what you had to do for vacation and stuff like that, hopefully you found out we answered all your questions or anything you would have had. If anybody else has questions on what you should do heading out on vacation or something like that, please let us know.
I'm still
While you catch up, I mentioned how we went over the moss. Oh, you're caught up? Go for it.
Crypt Keeper asked, Grant, I have 6 tanks that still need a variety of moss added. I have Subwasser tank, Java, and Taiwan. And then the other tanks with mixed and unknown varieties. Do you have more variety aside from on-site?
Yeah, we got the giant willow moss. We have the weeping moss. I just added flame moss back on the website. There's not a good picture of it, but I did leave enough portions at home. If somebody placed an order through the website, I could fill those out.
You have no Christmas moss?
Christmas moss is a banger. If you don't have that, it's or I also have mini Christmas too. It's a little bit more money, grows a little bit slower, a little bit smaller, more compact, looks a little bit nicer. So that's a little why.
If you want something floating, Rickia. It's not really moss, but it's kind of.
It's a crystal wort. It's a liver wort.
Beautiful, but really good for those top of the tanks.
Scotty asked, "What kind of killie? The fire mouth."
Mm-hmm. And I think, well, maybe they're asking what kind of killies fish eggs there would be.
Yeah, the fire mouth. Because we got the potted plants in there.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm not going to tell you which potted plant though. I mean, that's the mystery. You got to buy one of each. And thank you so much, Crypt Keeper.
He said you can't have. She said you can't have the Bulbitis back, Grant. My bush fish are too attracted to it.
Well, you were supposed to send it back after 1 year. It was only a lease. You were supposed to give it back, and then the great thing about plant leases is it needs to come back in higher propagation.
Stop. Guppy Beast, I will fight you. Says all moss looks the same. Fight me. I will. There's some that now I will say there is a lot that looks so similar that we continuously argue about.
One outside is Java moss in Taiwan. They look very close, and if you're not looking at them in a tank, it's very hard when you grab it up in your hand. They just all look the same. So.
But there is some that are extraordinarily different than the others. Like that giant willow moss is out of this world. That's something that's different. And then mini Pelelia or whatever, however you pronounce it. That stuff is real tiny and then grows up plants. So that stuff's really cool.
Oh, Crypt Keeper, if you want some really rare moss, we also have I'm not going to even try to pronounce it, but message me. I have a couple of bundles of it I can let go.
I don't know what he said.
Bruh.
But it's good. Okay. Big Dog said, what is the good TDS and pH for boa shrimp and tiger?
We keep ours at 150 TDS. There is some shrimp breeders that keep them at 110. Some keep them at higher than 150. So you really want to figure out where the person that's breeding the shrimp are keeping theirs, and then start the tank out at that TDS, and then gradually, slowly raise it up to your parameters that you like to keep, so that way everything's efficient.
So Stephen P. hit it on the head. There's a lot of moss that's sold as Java moss, and typically a mixture of different mosses that are mixed beyond recognition. Yeah, see, we know when it's mixed or two different ones, so we just sell it as mixed moss. So
I actually don't have any Java moss. I haven't purposely tried to grow it since we first got into the hobby. And also it was like the hardest moss for us to grow. I don't know why. All it did was like brown up and string, and then the fronds would fall and die. It's just not a good growing moss for us.
We're way behind again.
I'm trying.
Lefty said, well, since I'm traveling from Kentucky straight to Texas, I don't want to bring shrimp with me. Figured Dallas would be easier. Yep.
And we'll have fresh bags of shrimp for Dallas. So
usually we sell out.
I'm gonna do 20 bags of each color except for orange and black. I'll just do maybe 10 of each. I'm not sure. And I'm not bringing snowballs. I'm not bringing any Riley varieties or anything like that. And then we'll probably bring like 10 bags of tangerine tigers, and that's going to be it. I'm not bringing anything special Caradina wise. So if you want Caradina for the Triple Crown, I'll take pre-orders up till like 12 o'clock tomorrow. And then anything after that, it's going to be just tangerine tigers that we're bringing. I should bring some orange-eyed blue tigers, but I want them all for myself.
Stephen P. said a lot of moss is misidentified. Yes, and some of them are really hard to. And I don't know if you've ever shopped for moss online or tried to identify. It's like near impossible because like 20 different websites have 20 different mosses listed, and that's not the moss that it's supposed to be. So a lot of misinformation of people trying to make a quick buck off of moss and sell it for the wrong thing because they want to make an extra $5 on it.
And a lot of moss is really like people ask me what kind of moss is this, and it's like one strand, one frond, and I'm like I need more information. Like I need to see it growing in a certain set of conditions in a nice size clump. Some of my moss, I don't know what it is until it's literally filled the entire tank up, and then other moss, I just don't know what it is. No idea.
And Johnny B said, I was going to order some shrimp, but maybe order 20 pounds of moss instead. Not a bad idea. Moss is incredible. It goes well with everything.
Listen,
watch
our video on how to grow aquatic moss, and you won't need 20 pounds. You'll just need one clump of everything, and you'll be drowning in moss every 6 months. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time. I found moss in my sleeve today when I was on the way to the store. I don't know where I went with the kids without you, but I got halfway down the store and I was like, there's moss. And it was a pretty long strand I just pulled out.
Like, you were in Target by yourself for a little bit. I wandered off.
I went to the post office without you.
Oh, post office, yeah. Hello, Mandy. And said, never enough shrimp envy food. We have found that to be true. We ran out of our own food real fast.
And Crypt Keeper, we also have the Shrimp Envy shrimp food sticks. So
the lollies.
The lollies. Oh, why could I not think of the proper name?
Sticks.
So those will be going on the website, but I didn't want to just in case we sold them all at the shows. I wanted to leave like something little extra on the tables.
Verily said, I owned a pizza and sub shop for years. It is an art. It's true. Scotty the Fish Freak said, Subway. I loved it so much. I mean, you get a free sandwich. For every 4 hours you work, you get a half a sandwich. So that's all you ate. And I come up with some crazy sandwiches that are really good. So if you ever want to know a cool thing to try when you're bored of all the other sandwiches, let me know. It's actually pretty good. Hello, Jen. Said, my Subway lacks artist. Yeah, some of them are really bad. I cannot tell you how big of an overturn Subways have because they want to schedule 2 people for a store that should have like 6. And they don't understand a little. Like the customer will ask for a little mayonnaise, and I'm watching this girl just pile up like 3 straight lines, and I'm like, they said a little. What do you not understand? You can put more on. You can't take it off like that easily. People are crazy.
And thank you, Crypt Keeper. That is his favorite one. And if you want to try out our Shrimp Envy foods, there is a sampler pack. Oh, clicked on the wrong thing. Do you want to take over? Is pH a big thing for neos? Can they go down to 6.5? Yeah, they absolutely can. There's a lot of people who breed them in lower pH, especially over in Asia. A lot of the neos that are imported were bred in lower pH, and then when they're brought over to the United States, they're accustomed to our tap water, and that's a big reason why they're so stressed out and don't fare very well.
Hello, Fanaticals. Stephen P says, I keep my neos in all sorts of parameters from pH to 6.5 to 8, variety levels of GH depending on the tank too.
So how much neos do you got, Stephen P? You got some nice ones? We need some entries for the shrimp contest for Aquashella in Dallas. It's hot out, and if you got neos, there's no excuses. Just bring your biggest, largest ones that look the same, and you'd be surprised. And we'll feature you on the YouTube video if we do one. And if we don't, Papa Shrimp will.
Spaz says, great, thanks for answering my questions. Jeff said, looking in the newly planted 100-gallon, I spotted a single golden back neo saddled, and she's at least 1.5 inches. Don't know how it got there, but cool.
I find shrimp in places, and I'm like, we have an orange-eyed yellow King Kong in the baby Killies fish tank, and I don't know where he came in from.
Hello, new local Austin. Said, I just like watching my ram's horns pulling the red ones for the upgrade. I have the prettiest pink ones in one of my tanks. I love them. Hello, Danikin. Welcome in.
Looking forward to seeing you at the Triple Crown.
Killer Kitty said, new local Austin. I pull my pretty pink reds too, and my mom shamed me for not liking the blues as much. That's funny. The pink ones are a lot prettier. I like the blues, but I seem to breed them a lot faster than those other ones. They take forever. Welcome in, Spaghetti Nona.
When he said rams, I thought he was talking in cichlids.
Hello. I can't read that. Gardaki's Playground, RV. Hello. I hope I said that right. Nano Aquarium guy said, what leak detectors do you use?
I have no idea what the brand are. Some guy gave them out to us one time at Aquashella, and I don't think they had a brand or anything. They were just like...
There's a name on them, but I just don't know the name.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll have to bring it up one of these streams. We'll try to remember. Hello, Nate the Shrimp Nut. Hi, Grant and Shelby. Got my shrimp and food order this morning. All the shrimps are settled and really nice and very happy, and my other shrimp are pigging out on the soy ahoy. Love it.
Oh, glad to hear.
It's awesome. Like the name.
Lost my drink.
Oh, okay, so Danikin is coming to the show. We'll have your member sticker and your little letter together. I forgot to send it out, so it's in the box.
I knew you'd be there, man.
Keeping it shrimple. Hello. An option from Shrimp Envy would be barley bites. Oh, other than.
Yeah, we also use barley bites. I need to get like a place that sells those in bulk. And then, like, I don't know, Shelby will have to come up with like a beer mug of barley or something and a shrimp in it.
Hello, Jess. Welcome in.
I'm not the very creative one, as you can tell.
Verily said you can call Duke and get on a fixed monthly rate all year. That's crazy. Do we even have Duke in Florida?
I'm lost.
Electric.
Oh. Yeah, we don't have. We have with Lacucci.
Yeah, well, Duke is another, and I think I've seen it, but I'm not sure if it's offered in our area yet. Might be. Oh, see, she's in Tampa. Duke did it for me. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, we have a different energy company, sadly, but I don't know
Right,
if they
Duke
do
is a
fixed.
travel. It's different.
I also
But
like
yes.
it though in the wintertime. We get like a $180 one, and that's like during my birthday and the holidays, and we just spend that extra money on the kids. So
Hello, welcome in, Jimmy P. Said I've been listening, but had to drop in to say hello. Lefty said, what does a Sulu essay category mean on the site? That is a category we hope to fill one day.
I went on the website and realized we don't have weeping moss on the website. We don't have red steels on the website. We don't have the Malala shrimp on the website yet. I'm just slacking. I'm a horrible shrimp seller. I'm a great breeder, but when it comes to selling and advertising, and that's why I
it's only me that
dropped
does
out
it,
of business
so
school.
If it's not on there, it's because I haven't had the time. Also, he needs to take the pictures.
You take better pictures. Why do I need to take them?
Because I don't have the time, and you're sitting there doing water changes, right? So he should be taking the photo.
I take the photo, and you know what happens? Whoosh, flood everywhere. And then Shelby over here making a disaster of a mess. Literally looks like a storm came through after her aquascaping event. Neighbors probably think she's crazy. She's out there smashing rocks with a hammer.
Oh man, I think I scared them the other night because there's this couple that walks their husky like really late at night, and I keep looking at our tank, and we turned off all the lights just to focus on the tank and fix the mistakes. So I had to fill in some gaps with rocks, and I come out there with a hammer and like rocks in my hand, and I'm like, I just turned on the switch and walk out with it, and they're just like staring and just like slowly keep walking their husky. It's like, great, now they think I'm crazy. They have no idea I do aquascaping, and they're just wondering why this lady's walking around with rocks and a hammer. Crypt Keeper said, sold, I'll message you for the moss.
Is $100.
Oh, and I did.
I'm just kidding.
Scotty said, what's a fire mouth? I only know that's the it's a fire mouth Achilles. It's the
No, you can't look it up. Oh my God.
I already forgot.
She had it when we were in Pennsylvania.
I know. Can't remember if they're the Panchax.
Yeah, it's a Panchax. Because the one guy was like, oh, da 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 da, and then they're all Panchax. There's like 4 different kinds of Panchax that are popular in the hobby.
I think there's a Dagettes.
You can look it up if you want.
I have to get it.
All right, I'll jump in here. Firemouth is a cichlid. No, it's a firemouth Achilles fish. Sketty says my son wants to start a shrimp tank.
Yeah, Epilotus Dagettes. Okay, because that's what we got into it. I kept calling them Epilotus Dagettes, and they said Panchax, but it's a Panchax Epilotus Dagetti. That's what it is.
Dagetti. It sounded like you're saying Gagettis.
Good spaghetti.
And then recommend a specific shrimp.
That's what they look
mixed
like.
Coal. I wouldn't really do mixed coal because you end up getting a lot of ugly shrimp. If you want like a mixed group of like kind of colorful shrimp, Shelby swears on the black rose coals. So you can get 20 of those, get 10 free. But it's really just pick your favorite color Neocaridina and run with it. They're all going to be able to breed just the same. Some of them will produce more culls, like the orange Neos, the greens. Those are a little bit more work. Or the yellow, the blues. I mean, those are fairly true breeding, and they're just as easy to breed. Same care, same feed routine, same water change routine, same water. Nothing changes between them. So, and then if you wanted to change it up, Tangerine Tigers, tell everybody if you kill those, there's probably something wrong with your water.
Can I get a whoop whoop for Eater? Love it. Thank you. Appreciate the little hype. Gonna have to get a little shrimp that does this now.
We need James's emoji.
I know. I gotta figure out how I did that. That's so cool. So Nate said, so true. My Christmas sauce goes crazy. My 55 just had to take out a ball that was a third of the tank. Yep, it grows fast. Guppy B said, are you guys going to be switching your website over to Shopify now?
No.
I don't even know what that is yet. So.
No.
Thank you, Crypt Keeper. There is the link to the shrimp contest. We hope you all enter. If you have any questions, you can go watch our numerous videos on it and ask us any questions. We want the hobby to grow. So the more you guys enter, the more it grows, and we enjoy that so much.
And it also gets you free VIP access to both days at the show. Plus, first place is $250 cash money. We got plaques for Best of Show and People's Choice Award. Also, JBJ Shrimp King is the sponsor, and they're getting awards, hopefully for first, second, and third as well. But, you know, you never know with them. And they were talking some pretty fancy gift baskets. So if that's the case, maybe that's just for People's Choice Award, and they don't get anything other than a plaque usually. So you never know. It's still more incentive because People's Choice Award, that could be won by Neo Caradina. So
thank you so much, Tater Salad. Said just one more. You guys rock. Later, nerds. Tater out. Continue with what you were saying. I'm gonna.
What was I saying? Just the shrimp contest. Yeah. You want to enter your best 5 shrimp, your best looking. It doesn't matter, male or female, and then also the most identical is going to get you the most points. So if you do want to get the best of show, that's what it's going to take. The harder the shrimp, the breed, the more points you're going to get.
Danikin says they fly out tomorrow.
I don't know why. I thought you guys all drove.
Safe
like
flight.
Ed was talking. Were you not riding with Ed and James and passing a Buc-ee's? Thought that was maybe you're not passing a Buc-ee's on the way to the airport.
Tater Salad said shrimp food sample to Denmark. I'll pay for shipping. I wish we could. I think that you'd have to export.
I got to talk.
License,
I got to
right?
talk with Brian from Aquachar on that.
Yeah. Can you do axolotls with fish? I wouldn't.
So the thing is the axolotls have those nice little frilly gills, and we use those gills as a detection system on how healthy they are. So if you can't see the gills, you can't really see, any warning signs if there's any issues or anything like that way before they happen. So chances are, if you have big, nice, bushy, healthy, bright, pink, vibrant gills, unless it's a morph where they're not pink, but that chances are you have a very healthy axolotl that isn't worried about getting sick. But if the gills are gone, you can't tell if it's deprived of food or something like that. And those gills also are really like enticing worms, feelers for fish to come out and nip at them. So I wouldn't recommend putting fish in with your axolotls. They should really be solitary animals, maybe 3 of them in a tank, like a 40-gallon at least. And then, you can put some shrimp in there with them, but not snails. Make sure there's no snails in the tank because they can eat the snails and get an impaction.
They eat all the shrimp too.
Yeah, but I have some green jade culls still in their tank.
Stephen P. said, I use cherry shrimp as Christmas ornaments for my plants. I don't cull the cherries much, but I do have some nice ones. I'm working on blue dreams too. Next are yellows. Listen,
the winner of the last Neo Caradina show said the same exact thing to me. Ryan from My Wild Fish Tanks, he posted a video where he did like a quick tour of his fish room. And in all of his fish tanks, he had red cherries just scattered throughout of them. And there's a nice, big, juicy, berried, gorgeous female in almost all of them. And I'm like, hey, dude, just go through and take your nicest shrimp out of all your tanks, put them together, enter in the contest. You'll be surprised how well you did. And he won. And he's like, no gimmick, no, you're not messing with me. And I'm like, dude, I told you had really nice shrimp. They were massive in size. One of the things with fish tanks is you feed them so much. They get fed twice a day. So the shrimp do actually end up growing quite a bit in size. What you don't notice is there's probably some like bacterial infections or something like that that might go unnoticed a little bit more than often because the dead ones or sick ones might get picked off a little bit quicker from the fish. But you'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised. Enter some of those big, massive females, and you could walk home with some goodies.
Hello, Frank. Welcome in. Dana Quinn said, "You're in Florida. Get some solar."
Yeah.
We've heard it's a scam.
It's not that it's a scam. It's that it would have to go on my brand new roof, which is lifetime warranted. And if we put solar on it and it leaks through the solar, it's not part of the, or if it blows away, they'll blame it on the solar. So I don't have room in my backyard for solar. We got room for more ponds. It could go in the tiki bar.
Spaz said, "It's funny. My first shrimp aquarium is going to be a Cobalt Microview 30 8-gallon cube nano. I see one of your first videos was with one of those Cobalt tanks. I did upgrade to a different filter."
Yeah, it's one of
still
like
running.
my favorite scapes that I ever pieced together for a nano smaller tank. And it's just at a point in our career where production quality was just out the window. And I love the people from Cobalt so much. They make such great products, especially their heaters. And I was like trying to do that video to show them like, hey, I can set up tanks for you at your shows. And they just always have employees do it. And they're just like, I don't know. I just feel like more people would buy their tanks if they were aquascaped like some of these other companies really go all out, like Owasi. Like Stephen P is going to be scaping, no, not Owasi, the UNS contest. Owasi did it for the last show. Now it's UNS where they go through, they put their tanks out on display, and they have really nice aquascapes put in them, and everybody's like, "Ooh, I want one of those tanks." So it would sell them a lot easier. But yeah, change that filter.
Guppy B said, "Unplug it all LRB style. I'm considering it."
So at the same time, if you knew how much moss I sold every month, it more than pays for our electric bill. And Lucas comes over to the house, and the first thing he's like is, "Man, how do you have so much healthy algae-free moss?" I do my water changes, run my filters. That's what Lucas doesn't. But he has breeding fish out the wazoo of really nice fish. So it's
Ours
like
don't like the clean water.
He has his method. I have mine, and like I mentioned, I want to kind of be known for having that source for moss. If you want a certain type, I don't have them all yet, but what we do have is a good endless supply of high quality clean moss. It's got snails, but not algae.
Lefty said, "Got it. So you need me to move to Florida to be your CSP and web manager." I mean, not a bad idea.
Lefty,
not a bad idea.
You could homeschool the kids. you could be of so much use
He's
to
like,
us here in Florida. You have no idea.
We could always use the help.
If I could afford you, I have to be able to afford
you can't
Shelby
even afford
first. She knew it was coming.
Speak of, I was going to say the word, but I don't want to say that on here. Hello, Ryan, Wild Fish Tank.
And Ryan, I recommended you for Scotty's channel. If you guys did not catch our video that we did with Scotty the Fish Freak over on his channel on Saturday, we talked about fish clubs, and Shelby really didn't do much of the talking. It was all me. Yeah. I jumped in about several different stories about how we first got into my fish club, what they thought of me, all the stuff I was putting myself up to, and lots of great, from different clubs and stuff like that. So it really was a great 1 hour live stream. If you didn't catch that, please go check out Scotty's stream, check out Crypt Keeper's stream, And also, Wild Fish Tanks has some great videos. He has a tour video of our house of like over a year ago, and it's very well put together. So
I also, while we're here, hopefully you're still here. If you have some lease killies, can you bring them? I've been trying to ask you for like the past like 4 meetings because I want some.
No, we go and catch them ourselves.
I want them.
No. Ryan?
I don't want to do the work.
No.
When do we have time?
No.
Crypt Keeper said only $100 for that rare moss you don't know the name of. Grant, shut up and take my money. Love it.
All I have to do is search rare moss for sale, and it's like one of the first like 3 or 4s. It's one of the moss I got right after I got the hooker moss, and it's not as easy as to say as hooker moss. So it's like Malbury or something like that, and that's butchered. That's my dyslexic brain trying to read.
Welcome in, Dr. Anthony. Scotty said, I want some of those to Getty. Yeah. There's a lot of people breeding them currently. Are you coming to the show at the Triple Crown? They'll probably have them there for sure.
I will make sure that we can bring you some to the Keystone Clash, though. By then, we will have them. Both us and Gary will have more. I thought Gary said
Gary will definitely. Oh yeah, Gary has some for sure. He just needs to.
I can always ship you some too.
I literally have like the perfect setup, and they just don't. They're not breeding.
So one of the things Shelby's doing over here, she's getting all the bags prepped and ready.
Mm-hmm.
So you got them. Are you labeling them too?
No.
All right. So she's putting the little bit of mesh we use. It's actually a loofah. Can you actually hand me the loofah?
No, I cut it all up.
You cut it all up, you savage.
I was getting ready. It's fast.
It was a loofah.
Oh my gosh.
Murderer. No. All right. So it was just one of those fake shower loofahs, not one of the really the loofahs that you can grow and turn into a little shower companion. It is a plastic mesh, and you cut the string out that holds it all together, and it unravels, and you can make a really cool jellyfish decoration out of an umbrella with it, or we cut it up into little pieces and use it for the shrimp to hang on. A lot of people will use moss, but the moss will actually absorb oxygen in the absence of light. So therefore, we use the mesh just for something for them to hang on to so they don't stress each other out.
Severely said, this is pertaining her kid. He's older and he lives out on his own. Saghetti. Wow, I'm getting people confused already. Saghetti said he's old. He lives out on his own. So tangerine tigers or black rose coal. Sorry, I was out watering the garden.
Yeah, those are good choices, but really just pick his favorite color and then go with that kind of neon.
Yeah, that's usually the best way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Black rose coals are if you wanted a lot of color for your kid. So I wouldn't really recommend that unless they wanted that. It's
right,
a lot
all
more
the
work.
colors.
A lot more work.
All right.
You can hit Fantastic Freaks $3 super sticker if you want to hit that.
I couldn't see it. Thank you so much, Fantastic Freaks.
Much appreciated.
Never gonna be.
Are you gonna be at any of the shows coming up, man? It would be nice to see you again. We met him at the Aquaticon in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. I like this one. Killer Kitty said, hello, Dr. Awesome. It's called being fashionably late. Hello, Xandadoodoo.
Let's go, man. Much appreciated, Fantastic Freaks, for also asking to hit that like button, man. She shakes her head at me a lot.
Mm-hmm. Big Dog said, mystery snail okay with axolotl?
No, because they can eat the axolotl.
Oh, yeah. The snails are eating the axolotl. Well, they do. They kind of could take the slime coat. But yeah, no, the axolotl could eat the snail and die. Not a good thing. Just like you don't want to have rocks in the tank. So thinking about substrate, either bare bottom or sand. Don't put any pebbles or anything
If you
because they'll
do
eat
rocks,
that too.
gotta be massive rocks, and not ones that are nice and brittle that are gonna break apart and make little tiny rocks. So
river stones would be pretty cool.
Or hard slate.
Ooh, I should do that for one of the axolotl.
I said that already
so
for
many of
Layla's
them.
tank.
I'm
Layla
still
wants
trying
the
to figure out how to
axolotls in
skate
her
with them.
bedroom badly. I want like a nice little boy 50-gallon and build it on top of like a little desk area for her. What if I made her little desk that she uses for her art supplies, plexiglass over the top, and then the axolotls underneath?
I don't know. Low Aquaball said, solar sucks, just play electric bill like everyone else.
I've heard many bad things about it. Not any good reviews from anybody I know personally.
Asking, how do you tell anything with gills of an axolotl?
So if the gills look shriveled or small or barely there at all, then you are probably not feeding or have good water quality. If you have big, lush, juicy gills, like that thing is like, damn, like that looks like a good-looking axolotl. And depending on the color morph of the axolotl, a lot of them, the gills will turn pink. Like especially if you're feeding worms, bloodworms, or like red wigglers or something like that, they'll turn nice and vibrant. Like when they're healthy and they're good, the gills will be good. But the gills also look like fishing lures. So
Anakin said, my electric in the winter months is $600 to $900 a month. In summer, when Oregon gets sun less than 200, you guys have a lot of sun.
We have a fireplace right here, and I haven't used it since I was a kid, and I don't even know why we really used it, other than like to put those cool color changing pine cones and stuff in it. It was like a gimmick just to keep me entertained because I was a pyro, still am.
I don't understand fireplaces in Florida. I mean, you use it like maybe once or twice a year. Like most people in Florida will have a bonfire. It's very strange to have fireplaces to me. Aquaball said, very soon California is not going to have water anymore, not like we have it now. It's crazy. The world is going crazy.
There's just so many
We're all going to go crazy with
areas where there shouldn't be that much water in the first place. But the same problem here in Florida is you can tell there's issues with the rivers, and they're blaming it on tourism and all the people being on the river. First of all, you should see some of these people driving boats. Like, first of all, some people shouldn't be in canoes, let alone John boats. And they're tearing up vegetation and stuff like that. But the bigger problem is Nestle coming in and taking all the water.
Mm-hmm. Lefty said, I make $17.86 an hour working at the school. If you can match that, you got a deal.
See, I could do that a couple days of the week. I just don't. I couldn't do it 5 days a week. And how many hours you work? You'd get everything done at the house for like 3 hours, and then hopefully the kids wouldn't take that long to do homeschooling.
So, Dr. Anthony said, Lefty, we will pay you $500 a month, but provide you a place to stay in Peru as an intern. Actually, wouldn't $500 go quite a bit in Peru?
How old do you have to be? Because Jaden's like 10. I think he could help.
He's just trying to ship him off, get him off the video games. Here you go.
The experience. I was 10 when I was first in the rainforest. He needs to experience that too.
And he said, "Yeah, no. If I could get an adjunct teaching job, you'd probably have a deal." That's funny. I would love to go that way too. We want to travel so bad. We're itching to travel.
We've got to make it to Hawaii and then maybe New Zealand, and then we'll start going to...
There's no maybe in New Zealand. We are absolutely going to New Zealand. I am going to see your grandmother who loves me. We're going to see her, and we're going to stay there, and we're not coming back. Okay.
We can't ship aquatics there.
I
So
know.
that's another place we can't really live in until we retire. And even then, I want everything that I've created.
Crypt Keeper said, "Do you have that rare right corner moss?"
So sadly, that tank got the new tank syndrome, and the Kleb has gone berserk. So it actually turned into staircase moss, and I was giving it some time before I posted that picture. But currently, it is Kleb City. And for any of you that don't know Kleb, it's that like real cotton like algae that just shows up on new tanks. It's not hair algae or anything like that.
Scotty said, "Shelby, remember these killies aren't killies, but they are nice and good with shrimp."
And I like a conveyor belt that poop out one baby at a time. Pop out. Why did I say poop? I'm so sorry.
And there's some fish that I have more than just killies fish. I got my goodies and I got some of my guppies. I don't want just killies fish. I just want to specialize more in the killies. They're also one of those ones that for some reason are just being tricky for me. So that's why they're definitely, like, I've done a lot of breeding of other fish and it's easy and I move on to the next one. But killies fish, they like to make me struggle for it. The other ones I didn't have to work at all for them. I don't know where this came in. I'm sorry. Did you say
the
shower?
loofah? Because you murdered the loofah, so I was talking like the other loofahs are actual people too.
Stop. Oh my goodness. See, you're catching the things I'm not even hearing him say. I'm gonna have to
We're actually catching up in chat.
Mhm.
That we're 8 minutes behind. Anything after 8 minutes, I forget.
Brian said, "I can definitely bring you some, but I'm with Grant. We should plan a time to go collecting." That is actually a really great idea.
So
I want to go collecting so bad.
we have Dallas frogs next to us at Aquashella, and I plan on getting everything we need for our chameleon bio scape. And Layla wanted chameleons for her birthday that just passed, so I told her we're getting her something from Target. And there's only so long I can stall without like having to buy her like more things from Target. But it's chameleons. We're gonna get 2 panthers from separate lines so she could breed them. And he's in Orlando as well as you. We'd like to come to your house, get a bunch of plecos for Eddie. Eddie's got tanks up and running and cycling, so I'm hoping everything plans out perfectly. But hey, I'm all down for a morning collecting trip or late afternoon or something like that. But
I've never been to anything in Orlando. One of the reptile shows we went to, I kept looking up on the phone rivers near us, and there's so many like little creeks and stuff out there, and we've been wanting to for a while now.
But the important question is, how close are you to Uncle Julio's? Because we'll probably have to go there for lunch.
Oh, their corn tortillas! If you have not had Uncle Julio's and their corn tortillas, you're missing out. They're so good. I'm a sucker for tortillas.
We're almost to 60 people. If we can get to 65, I'll give away some red steels since they're not on the website, and that's why I have so many of them.
All right. Spaghetti Nona said, "Laid the floor in my fish room yesterday, just trim work, and I'm in." Awesome. You gotta share the progress with us. I love hearing someone setting up fish rooms.
I mentioned it before. If you're not setting up new tanks or want to set up new tanks after watching this channel, we're not doing a good enough job. Especially with Eddie's series. I mentioned free red steels and we lost 4 people. What is it with the red steels? Nobody wants them. I don't even want to sell them, I guess. There's so many of them, though. We have like 3 tanks of them.
Nate the Shrimp Nut asked, "Will Aquachar help with higher nitrates at all?"
Yeah, it most certainly will, because it is a biomedia as well as a natural carbon source. So. And we'll have Aquachar with us as well at the. I should have messaged Brian and saw if he. Oh, he said he shipped it out Sunday.
And Crypt Keeper told Nate more plants and more water changes help with high nitrates as well.
And reduce feeding. If you have high nights, reduce the amount of food you're feeding.
Stephen P. said, mystery snails have those delicious little worm-like antennas. Yes, they do. Hello, Misfit Reptiles and Aquatics. Welcome in. And hello, Sandy. Haven't seen ya. How you doing? Or maybe we have. Just late.
Oh, we've caught them in several different streams, Ryan.
Yeah.
It's just they.
Oh, no. Someone asked where
They were also in a tank with a Mad Tom catfish. So that's where they ended up. Because once you catch something, you can't release it. And when I figured out what it was, I was like, man, that thing is going to eat everything. I knew it was a catfish.
I can't stand catfish.
I thought it was going to get bigger and we were going to move it into another tank. Not that it was going to be small and stay with the other nanofish.
There's not many fish that I don't like. Catfish is one of them.
Corey's are catfish too. And Dr. Anthony's in the chat and he's going to be appalled.
Blue channel catfish. Okay, let's get specific here.
I would like some massive catfish out in the koi pond that won't eat the koi fish.
Yeah, okay. We're not chancing that.
I had a blue channel catfish eat a lot of koi fish. It wasn't fun.
Hello, PA Fish Preacher. Sinjin just said, there's no fireplace. How's Santa going to get down? Obviously. Fun fact, we don't do Santa.
Yeah, no, we don't do Santa either.
Our holidays are a little bit more
No,
old style.
not old
not
style,
even.
New age.
We
or
don't.
Classical.
Yeah.
We worked really hard when we were young parents to give our kids a good Christmas, and I was not sharing that with an old dude in a red suit.
Who doesn't?
When my kids got what he wanted for Christmas, and then later on Layla, they knew that, like, if we had made the money we have now, like, we're lucky enough to spoil the kids. But, like, there's been some rough Christmases where I, like, said, nah, I'm not going to get anything my birthday. Let's just buy the kids stuff. And I was not giving any other credit to some man coming down the chimney.
But it's not that we don't do the traditional Christmas ideas with the cookies and fun, but we make it more about family and appreciating family than about the gifts. I think a lot of people are lost in that nowadays. But we do Santa. We watch all the movies. They love the movies and the elves. And I still make fun of it today. And I'll just be like, Santa's coming tomorrow. And they're just like,
we know there's not Santa.
Yeah, they also ruined it for other people, so I feel really bad. But, you know, it's just one of those things. I like the idea, don't get me wrong. I like it, but it's not our cup of tea. So.
We played Tooth Fairy that night.
Spaghetti, Nona. The water is toxic in Iowa from runoff from crops. Also, listeria. We have boil water orders all the time. Oh, we only get that once in a blue moon. That's scary.
It's usually for Tampa, not for our area.
Right, Tampa's terrible, and it's very toxic. I swear they don't tell you to boil your water when you're supposed to be in Florida. So, but that's scary.
But while we're talking about Christmas, Foxy Fish, right? Is that the channel? Oh man, they're doing a Fishmas in July.
I've been trying to get ready for inventory for work, so don't ask me a question about anything that's been recently. So,
moving on. If Dee Dee's here, maybe she can.
Scotty says in maybe Santa's is already in and is the shower companion. Sandy said, I love my fireplace. Nothing better than to come home after a cold day fishing and sit in front of the fireplace. I guess that's a good time. We don't really get that. We don't go outside when it's cold. So, like, we just look at our fireplace like we have heat. So, Aquaball said, I go for free. Just give me some tanks and chickens and I'll be fine. Oh, someone else, hello, Nick, said fireplaces so you can have Santa deliver presents. Santa never brings me any. And Spaghetti said, yes, you must go to New Zealand. I will. It's the number one spot I want to go to. Hello, Dee Dee. Welcome in. Aquabell said, don't forget the misters for the chameleons. Fun fact, if you didn't know, clearly, that we used to breed chameleons. So we definitely know.
Yep, before we did shrimp, we used to have 42 breeding chameleons and then anywhere between 30 to 90 eggs in the incubator and 30 to 60 babies going at any time. We took care of crickets and worms for 2 hours a day. That was our life for quite some time.
Yep, I think our Facebook is still up with some of them. We had Coco Cams. We both had dogs named Coco when we met. I had my dog first, obviously. He copied. I'm just kidding. 2 different spellings of Coco, by the way. But and then we like Cocoa Beach, so it just seemed to fit really well with that. But that was real young into the relationship and very young having kids. So life gets in the way sometimes, but we'll have them again. That's the whole plan. But said, I have 2 amazing tanks for chameleons. I used to have them, but the tanks are empty now. Yep. We sold everything. We didn't have room. We put too much fish stuff everywhere.
But Layla wants them, and she's got room in the closet, so we're probably going to put two cages in the closet.
Dr. Anthony says, give the shrimp to me. I need some good news these days.
As soon as you come back to the States, I got plenty of shrimp for you, man.
Yep. I hope things get better for you as well. Aquabell said, I just had a live sea urchin. It cost me $45 and some lemon. Oh, you ate it? Wait, you ate it? Oh, no.
Yeah. It's got a lot of umami flavors.
No, thank you. Couldn't do it. What happened to your face? Did I miss something? Got stitches and everything. Well, I hope that's going smoothly and you get better. I must have missed something.
And she's here. It's Roxanne's fish channel.
Kurt Keeper says, you guys' streams got me to set up a whole dang rack around my TV. Oh,
Mission accomplished. All right, guys, end stream.
Did you see our old rack around our TVs? It was pretty cool. I'm running out of info. Ryan said, you guys are welcome to come by anytime. We can definitely hit up a spot close to me house. Haven't had Uncle Julio's. We'll have to see how far it is away from me. It's
right
on Boardwalk.
International Drive.
International. What's Boardwalk?
It's at
Universal?
the famous Icon Park, sadly.
Oh my gosh, that's so terrible. Honestly, I still hate that park. And Lefty said, I'll take those red steels off your hands.
Well, I can come home from... Well, no, they need special water. If you don't have the RO water, that is asking for shrimp tragedy. And I gave you shrimp knowing that they will live and you'll have no issues with them. So I can give you a different kind of shrimp, not the red steels.
Dee Dee said, I just had to add another shrimp tank shelf. Yes.
I know. I see all the shrimp you're getting between me and Papa's Shrimp. And who else knows? Who else are you getting shrimp from? You're getting a lot.
I'm loving it. Spread. It's going to spread like an infectious disease. It's 2022. Hello, Leo. Welcome in. Yeah. See, no, I put lemons on sea urchin. They taste better that way because someone asked if his lemons were a code word. I just don't think I could eat that. I don't think I could do it.
I don't eat anything with a fin or like a spine, I guess I should say now. Like a spiky.
Ryan said, if your daughter's into fish as well, there is a new fish club in the Melbourne area called Space Coast Aquarium Club. I'm going to have to go. Very friendly, knowledgeable fish keepers. We're going to have to go to that. I love Melbourne, and
it's still 3 hours away, though.
Nope. So my whole family used to go to Melbourne every summer. We get a house for a whole week and stay in Melbourne. So what's going to happen is that we're going to line that up with the time they have their club meeting. So we'll stay and go to a club meeting while we're there because my dad's been
We do have some
wanting
time
to
in
go.
August between Dallas and
maybe not this year, but soon.
I don't think we're gonna go to the pet extravaganza in Orlando. There's no live sales, and then the price tags are pretty high, and
Yeah.
it's just really to meet
People.
creators. And it's like I already personally know all the ones that I'd want to meet there, so I don't know if I'm going to that. Are you, Ryan?
Welcome in, James. Said Triple Crown, baby. Said sorry, back to lurking.
Yeah, I'm kind of like depleted and sounds like I'm drained, but it's because we were up till 2:00 last night. Shelby's like, I want to go to bed, and it was like 1:30, and then
Begging.
it was
No,
not begging. It wasn't even on me, Shelby. You're making all of these people, Matt, think that I have just
All these
slaved
people,
you, and you don't get a break off or anything like that. And it's
Look
literally
at these
like
hands. They don't have.
it's her aquascaping, fixing the teeniest, tiniest little things. I'm like, Shelby, give it a break. You don't need to do that.
It needs to be perfect. I need to win. I'm really competitive.
One rock in the right-hand corner. Half a centimeter.
I'm very, very competitive. So it kills me when I don't win something. I mean, I went my whole life winning everything in sports. So when I do anything else and it's a challenge, it kills me. Spoiled little brat.
That's why
here.
she hates me so much. Because I beat her and everything. I don't go easy. Same with the kids. I don't let them win anything.
I make that joke all the time. He beats me at everything. He's better at video games, and I've never met anyone better at video games, like friend-wise, And when he beat me at video games, I was just flabbergasted. So, that's why he kept me. I'm still trying to beat him. Once I beat him, it's gonna just be over. I'm just goodbye. I'm just kidding. Like a video game.
Keep it competitive, though. If you weren't, I wouldn't be interested. I'd get bored. Everything's a race or a competition, and if you're not first, you're last.
If you ain't first,
some
you're
people
last.
got portrait
Ricky
of Jesus on the wall. We got Ricky Bobby.
Spaz said, I just saw a local shrimp breeder post a shrimp color/type as red Kanoko. Is that a legit red line? Haven't heard of it before now.
So it is a red Neo where the red shines through so much and it's so deep and dark that it actually kind of produced like a black pigment throughout it. So if it is red and black in a Neocaridina, then it is properly labeled.
Ran out of bags again.
Good?
Yeah, ran out of bags again. I don't know how many I needed. So.
I don't know.
Leo said, how can you not like catfish? because we handpicked all these beautiful long fin koi fish, and we spent quite a bit on them. And then someone got a baby blue channel catfish and put it in the pond, thinking, and I told him, please don't put that in there. I can eat it all. Oh, no. And it grew so fast, and it ate most of them. Now, there was other culprits that ate some of the other fish, so we had to learn, but all of them were gone, and we spent thousands of dollars on fish.
Culprits? It was just the catfish.
The raccoon ate one. That's why we put the guard over it.
That's before we widened the range to the dogs.
Leo said plecos are awesome. I definitely love certain plecos for sure. Not obviously the big ones that are causing problems in the world.
The smaller plecos are cool, like the zebras, the clowns.
Xanadu said, I've been running 20 plus tanks off one power line and old fuse panel. Upgrade to a new breaker panel with a couple more lines for tanks. I have several empty tanks waiting. Then shrimp.
Awesome.
Wow, sounds wonderful. Leo's offended. I'm sorry. came from the hospital. I hope you're doing okay.
Hope for a speedy recovery. I missed quite a few things in chat.
Yeah, I forget a lot. I forget very easily. I'm so sorry if I forget things. I really am. I don't mean to.
Well, while everybody's waiting to catch back up here, we got our members only stickers for anybody that is a member, and you have not gotten your member sticker with your member discount code. It will come with a 10% off to our site, tgobshrimp.com. Hit us with an email at granteater@gmail.com with your YouTube account, not information, but name and address, and we will get that sent on over to you. Also, we are headed to the Triple Crown, but Wednesday you can catch us over on Chance's channel for episode 10 of Halfscaped. We won't be in our normal spot. We will already be in Kentucky by then. I'm not sure about the whole layout and everything of the Triple Crown, but if we can get you behind the scenes in the vendors area or something like that for the live stream, and it's allowed, I'm not going to pull anything sneaky, but we'll be doing that. If not, we'll be at the hotel room. It'll be probably just us prepping and going over Aquashella plans. Probably not, because we don't want the enemies to find out what we're doing.
Enemies.
So I'm leaving it up to Chance to figure out what the topic for the night, or if we have a speaker or anything like that. It's always last minute, but that's how we always are. Everything is usually last minute with us.
Spaghetti Nona said, 1 year my kids got a $5 movie and a juicy fruit gum. That gum is amazing, though. It's really got the best flavor, honestly, and it's never bad. Honestly, it's much better to humble your kids, for sure, that they don't think that everything comes easily. So some years not getting everything definitely helps with children growing up, and I would say it helped me quite a bit. Definitely makes you a better person sometimes.
My parents always capitalized on the fact that my birthday and Christmas were 8 days apart, so I just got one nice present for both.
Killer Kitty said, juicy fruit gum is the best. My mouth's watering. I know, it's so good. The only thing is I just wish it would last longer. Like if we can get like the Now or Later and the juicy fruit company to go together and figure that out.
You know, it's a good stream when we made it this far, and now I'm just hunger's hitting me. We skipped dinner tonight.
There we go. Thank you, Matt. You're always on it. Fishmas is in July, is Thursday on Foxy's Fishies.
Okay.
1 hour earlier than usual.
So I did get it right. It is Roxanne's channel, though. So.
Mm-hmm. Steven said, yes, I want that credit. We give Santa credit for the stocking stuffers. That's not a bad idea.
No, we take that too. Like we put a lot of good things, like a lot of the expensive small stuff that's in the stocking.
I know, so. LOLs fit in there, and they're like $10 a piece.
Pokemon cards, like 1 year there was probably like $100 worth of Pokemon cards in each stuffing alone.
Indeed, he said the stream for the Christmas in July is going to be about 2 hours on Thursday.
And we'll be setting up the shrimp contest, and is it this Thursday or next Thursday?
Either way, we'll be busy for. Yeah, both Thursdays we'll be busy. Hello, Skippers Aquariums, welcome in.
How's it going, man?
Oh, Killer Kitty. I like zebra stripe gum back in the day, but just because you got the tattoos, the flavor can't touch the juicy fruit. You're true, but I do like it.
The flavor was good if you put all the gum in your mouth at once.
That is true.
It still only lasts like 10 seconds.
He said wanted to stop by and say hi before going to bed. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, man. Why don't these pop up anymore? Thank you so much, Killer Kitty, for the $2 super sticker.
Thank you.
And I lost my spot.
There it is.
There we go.
He was talking about Zen. She didn't listen.
I didn't
I
see
assume
it.
the stitches was Matt gave her some advice. She didn't listen.
Oh. She didn't. Oh, okay, I get it. She didn't listen. Is what happened to her face. Dee Dee will know better than to talk back next time. Goodness gracious. Y'all part of the mafia. Man, I guess I'll know not
I
to
wish
talk
I had
back.
my fish tank
I'm
mafia,
scared.
my Tennessee fish mafia hat on tonight.
It would have been perfect.
Or t-shirt. I'm saving the t-shirt for wearing at the expo.
Spaghetti said, had shrimp for dinner. It was good.
I'm thinking Thai food tomorrow and getting dumplings with the shrimp in it.
Oh, you're speaking my language. Especially since we'll be gone for like 2 weeks. I will die without my Thai food.
She acts like I don't pay her, but we got pizza today. I like garlic knots. I'm not a big cheese person, especially when it's not melted and hot. And by the time I get to the bread, it's usually a little cold. So what did I get you today?
Cheesy bread.
Stuffed cheesy bread.
It was so good.
Instead of garlic knots. Garlic knots are so nice.
They're okay. They're
so
okay.
much better.
There's not enough cheese.
So much better.
Oh man. But speaking of shrimp, so we went out to food at our local hibachi grill, and we get the 2 free shrimp with the dinners. And
complimentary. The
kids, I can't eat shrimp. It's the texture that bothers me. It's not so much the taste; it's the texture. Rubber, I don't know. It's like a shoe. But I cut it in half and I give them to the kids. And I'm like, you guys have to eat these. And they'll eat them. We get home from dinner and the kids, Jaden comes up to and goes, is the shrimp at the hibachi grill like the shrimp in our tank? And we're like, no, Jaden, they're too small. And he's like, well, I was just thinking if you had to get rid of all your shrimp one day, we could just sell them all to the hibachi grill. And just Jaden comes up with the funniest things.
You know what they should use is like wild neocaridina shrimp, and then cook them real quick, and then use those to flip into people's mouth. Like that's what you should catch is little mini shrimps. Like that'd be so much better than a piece of uncooked broccoli or
zucchini.
leek.
I love the zucchini. Killer Kitty said, Grant, the slave driver. It's funny. It's funny. It's okay. If he wasn't like this, we wouldn't get things done, though. Like, I'm one of those people that I do enjoy my video games and TV and things like that. And he's more of the let's go do this. I mean, I do like getting out. Don't get me wrong. Like, take me exploring.
This is how our Mondays go. I do Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturdays without her. I know how long it takes me to catch all the shrimp and how much BS time I can spend here doing whatever I want to do. And then here comes Shelby, the real slave driver on Monday. That's all like, come on, get this done. Do that. Why are you doing this? You're sitting down again? Come on, get up over here. And I'm just like, Shelby, we got so much time. Why are we rushing to get this all done? And then it's like, I don't get where this whole Grant's the slave driver, because if you saw her in action,
I work 8 hours on my feet. No one gets to sit down.
If you go to Dallas, you'll see Shelby's the one that's all like, do this, do that. What are you doing, Grant? And I'm like, I'm
because
just
he wanders outside.
No, and I gotta double check things because it's like a contest. I'm just checking, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. And
honestly,
Shelby's
some
over
people
here
just
like,
don't work
come
fast
on.
enough. It is true. I just don't think you work fast enough. Oh, I don't believe in breaks. I don't get them. Since I've ever started working, I don't get breaks. There was no lunchtime. I didn't get a 30-minute break when I worked at Subway, working 16-hour days on my feet, and you get to sit. So.
We didn't have breaks.
No,
your break
don't
was
sit down.
in the truck between
body
houses.
in motion stays in motion, Greg.
But I sat down. There was ride time. I need some.
Scotty said, "Now you even got Shelby working during the streams." Actually, that was my idea too.
That's all her. Like whenever she wants to sit there and write all the notes to all the members and everything like that, that's Shelby's idea.
Well, it does save me a lot of time tomorrow. I get really stressed out when we're traveling, and I want to make sure everything's done so that we can go over everything before we leave, so we don't miss something.
And the other thing is like every now and then I have someone like Mark, my turtle friend, who wants to come from California, and gave me enough notice that I could say, "Hey, Shelby, would you mind cleaning the house so that way I can bring a friend by?" And it's not like our house is destroyed or anything like that. It's Shelby's first impression. She's got to make sure everything is, and not the tanks. It's just like we have 2 dogs and 2 kids, and might as well.
Oh man,
be
I even scraped the tanks. If it's
a little mini
algae,
tornado runs through our floors every day. So she just wants clean floors, clean counters, and then you can come. But
we're almost there. Crypt Keeper said, "Wish everyone a safe trip to oh my goodness, Triple Crown. Come back with lots of pictures, videos, and stories. I'm hoping we do, because every event that we go to, both of us look at each other when we leave and go, 'Did you get video? No. Did you? No.' That's annoying."
there is the whole live bear contest with 100. The cichlid contest has 100 tanks. That's so much. I'm gonna get a video and it's gonna be whoa. It's gonna be short. It's gonna be like, got it, got them all.
No, we're gonna have to separate the videos. Like, it's gonna be crazy. Scotty the Fish Freak said, "I wonder if he'll beat you at the Clash aquascaping competition." Most likely. I get real nervous. And I also, not only that, I can do skating, but I get like I self-doubt myself way too much. It's a problem. So, and he's got the confidence going, got it done, he's good. So that's our biggest issue.
I also got this technique with the finesse and the rocks and the plants. They just do what I tell them to.
Zen said, "Pictus cats are my favorite cats. So squirmy and adorable when they chase each other and run in and out of rock tunnels and feeding. So cute." They are cute. I guess I couldn't say that I don't like all catfish. I just want to classify them because of it.
We recommend Alita air pumps. It's what we use in the house. They're quite powerful and quite quiet. If you can't hear them on stream, we've got 3 of them running in a 20-foot radius of us. And they're pumping
10.
Almost 200 tanks. So.
And welcome in, Kevin. Thank you, wonderful mods, for tagging all these links in here. James said, "There are enough of us. We can get whatever, wherever we want." That is true. That is true. Lefty said, "I didn't even think about not being able to film or record at the Crown." Well, we were talking about behind the scenes. I'm assuming they'll let you during the show. You should be able to. We should ask Rusty on that, probably, just in case. Some people might not want to.
I'm just going to ask the Biggs because I know he's already asked.
Yeah, he's already been filming. So we get to see some of the setup already. If you haven't checked out that, Chris Biggs is on YouTube, and is it on YouTube?
It's Chris Biggs, the Mad Aquarist. Yeah. But he posted a lot of stuff on Facebook.
Lefty said, "You guys can save yourselves a stamp and just bring a sticker with you to the Crown unless you already mailed on." I have to check on that.
Listen, Lefty, I don't even know your real name. You didn't even give it to me when I messaged you for your name for shrimp. So I just figured, you didn't want it to know, and nobody knows your real name. So we might have you on our list of people we don't know you paid membership. So
no, I'm behind on this for
sure. You gotta
let
us know. Does it say name or does it say YouTube name?
I always write the YouTube
I don't know. Shelby does it.
And then sometimes
does it tell us though who memberships?
No. It just tells you their name, and then that's why I ask. And if someone tells me their name, I write their personal name on there. But no, I'll just bring the members. We are bringing some of the membership stickers, so if you haven't got yours, we'll give it to you there. I'm gonna bring the whole card and everything. So
no, I'm an idiot. The YouTube tells us it's his name, not his real name.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't seen the list of members.
Stephen P. asked, "Can you talk about Aquashella since I can't be there to eavesdrop?"
Wait, what? You're going to be there.
Aren't you doing the creators contest?
Yeah, I'm so confused. I'm very stumped on this. We need more information.
You can talk about all. Oh, you can talk about Aquashella since I can't be there to eavesdrop.
I just don't know what we're going to be talking about at Aquashella.
You can talk about Aquashella since I can't. Oh, maybe he's talking about he can't be at the Triple Crown. Oh no, he's come to the Triple Crown. I'm so confused.
I don't know if Stephen P is going to be at the Triple Crown.
Oh.
I know he'll be at Aquashella because...
Thank you so much, Johnny B, for the $2 super sticker.
He's going to be
Appreciate it.
in the creators contest for UNS. So, I don't know. Move on. Maybe we can, somebody else can translate that for us. It's late.
What show did they have in Tennessee?
They had Aquaticon. It
was
was
fun.
a couple months ago, and we're really hoping that they bring it back next year because it was a one-day show. We did really well. There was only 4 freshwater booths, but there was a lot of people who are into freshwater there, so it wasn't like a saltwater show. It was great. I don't know how the saltwater people did, though.
Spaghetti Nona said, if shrimp is rubbery, it's overcooked. I even have like really good cooked ones from Hibachi. I just don't like the texture. It's still weird to me. Matt said, thanks for keeping it all together, Shelby. I don't though. Oh. Zen Ginger says, well, how dare you make her slave drive you? Do better. I like Zen.
Man.
We're going to have to hang out. We're definitely going to have to hang out.
I just like to plan everything out and get it done. Like I know if I bag everything up by 3:00, that I have an hour to box everything up. And if somebody puts in a last second order, I can get that out too. So
Leo said, Grant, blink twice if she overworks you. We'll call OSHA. Stop. Stop. I'll lay down and like want to relax. And he's like, what are you doing? He like gives me the same stuff back, so it only keeps us both going.
There's some like stuff on the website you could probably like help me out with. You know, can I bring you the laptop?
Like 12:00 at night, trying to go to bed, he slides the laptop into me.
I'm usually the one that wants to go to bed, and you're still out here feeding fish, and I'm like,
have
why?
a good night, Jeffrey Brown. Thanks for joining us.
We'll be wrapping it up soon.
It's a clash where you enter it for $200 and you get to keep the tank. No, that is Aquashella, Dallas.
Aquashella, maybe that's what he was talking about, is the Aquascape
that
contest.
One, maybe.
So the Fluval contest or Fluvail contest is $200. It can be team or single individual, but they give you for $200. You get to keep the rimless 40-gallon tank. Sorry. It also comes with 2 lights, canister filter, 2 bags of Fluval stratum, and a heater, and aquascape tools. So it's definitely worth the $200 to enter. And first place will be $1,000 cash prize. They're also giving you aquascape materials to work with. I still don't know if we're going to be able to keep those or not.
No, they're going to put them all back.
So
yeah.
Hopefully. But when I put a bunch of
goop on it,
what are they going to do? They're going to compensate me for my $30 worth of...
We're going to see. There's
lots
still
of
a lot to
unknown
discuss.
Questions.
Gary said, the only show I get to go to is Aquashella Orlando. I'm getting excited for it already, and it's not till February. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
can
always
you not
excited
go
for that
to
one.
the Aqua Expo in October? Is it in October?
Yeah, South Florida. It's still like a 4-hour
Coral
drive,
Springs.
though. Might be busy.
Yeah.
Ginger said, you're going to Chicago Aquashella maybe, and he's not. No, we're definitely going. Maybe. That one. Yeah.
Chicago, it will be there for sure because we already qualified for the Fluvail contest there, and winner of that gets $5,000. So we will not miss that.
Fishtoberfest is around Aquashella, Chicago too. There's way too much stuff around the same exact time. It's driving me crazy. Expecting all this time off. Don't you dare think about going to that one too. He said, I was talking. I said, Stephen P was saying, I was talking about your stream. Stop being so behind in chat.
Oh, I know it bothers you. I saw how you were
See,
mentioned it the other day on Jess's stream where you had to be on top.
we're not too bad. We're almost caught up at the end,
It's
know?
rough when I have like something that I want to talk and give some valuable information to the people who rewatch. So
Thank you so much, Stephen P, for the $5. I was talking about your stream Wednesday. If you wanted to divulge your escaping plans, man, we're both dense as rocks. And the rocks we escape will be at Triple Crown Dallas Clash and Fishtoberfest. Awesome.
You're not the only one listening. I know for a fact.
Can't forget about the money shrimp.
I know for a fact some of the people that we are competing against have been lurking. It shows.
Scotty said there are more than a Rico behind, I think.
No, we're not. Still, no.
Earlier we were definitely were.
We were 2 Ricos almost behind at one point. I was like, I can't even talk about this until we catch up.
It's almost like a Rico-san stream with how behind Grant gets. Shelby keeps trying to push him quicker, but you know.
But then she talks about mayonnaise and Subway and stuff like that. I'm like, we should at least talk about fish stuff.
Is there ever any shrimp stuff going up here and around Massachusetts?
So sadly, no. The closest thing was there was a show, the Aquatic Experience, that happened in Jersey. I think that Reefapalooza, New Jersey might be a show that we're going to try to do next year, just because they have big bowls, little plates within walking distance of the venue, and that place is delicious.
Wasn't Massachusetts where Han was?
Yeah, but in Chaz, and neither one of them are really in the shrimp game anymore, so really not much.
Yeah, Chicago's going to be the closest show to you.
Or Tennessee, maybe, but not much shrimp going
on. Blue Veil. I'm sorry. It's too good. I hope to get all the fish people around Grant and just all of them at one time just say it together in front of him. Be like, yeah, you know that Blue Veil. Oh, it'd make my day.
I'll like it. I'll love it just as much as you. It's for the people that don't like that I say Fluval instead of Fluval.
Rob said we will be at Fishtoberfest.
So what's Fishtoberfest? Send me the link to this. I got to figure out if I could fit it into our not so busy schedule.
I'm going to have to start preface our comments with example. Lefty said, speaking of Subway, why the heck did they change the Italian BMT to include spicy pepperoni? Ew. God, that sounds terrible. I've been gone from it way too long. That sounds terrible. No thanks.
Subway mayo is not an important topic. What should be is how much mayonnaise they're putting on my spicy chicken sandwiches at Wendy's.
Oh, no, the worst. Who was the worst?
Checkers is the worst.
Popeyes. The one time I got a chicken sandwich from Popeyes, we both threw them away. It was
Popeyes
that bad.
Will get it right sometimes. Checkers is consistently massive on the condiments. Zen Ginger, can you message me it on Facebook or email? I'm not going to go back on the chat. Or can you bring it up here and put it?
Bring it up on my phone.
I was going to. Yeah, it'll only let us show the comment here. But Crypt Keeper is pretty good at sending me the links. Oh, you did too, Zen.
2 seconds.
Is mayonnaise an instrument? Patrick Starr. I was going to scream my best SpongeBob impression, which is him yelling at Gary.
Please don't. Oh my gosh, he does it all the time. It's loud.
The kids like it. It's good.
Oh, goodness. Oh, it overlaps with Aquashella Chicago. That's probably why.
Darn. I only need to be there for 2 days.
Fishtoberfest is the event Kenny is running. And Zen said, I give up. It's an invert class. Fishtoberfest is a new convention in Portland put on by the Greater Portland Aquarium Society. Second year. It's 2 days this year. That's awesome. But it is the same weekend as Chicago Aquashella.
Dang.
But yeah, if we didn't qualify, maybe it would have been. But
we still got to run the shrimp contest.
Oh, yeah. Lefty said, but if you got enough people to enter shrimp, you could make it its own class, right? Oh, yeah, for the contest, there's the shrimp class. I heard 2 dings.
All right.
And Crypt Keeper wants to hear your SpongeBob impression, and then we're going to have to leave.
Nope. I'm not going to do it.
It's got to be perfect. Nope.
No.
Oh, one last question. Big Dog said, can you have 2 types of shrimp in the same tank?
Yeah. So the best way to do it is set it up for Neocaridina parameters and then add some Tangerine Tigers. And your secondary option is to do Caridina parameters, and then you can do some Neos in it too. But when it's on call, the impersonations don't come out. When it's like natural and then you're in the moment, they come out perfectly.
He's too nervous.
They come out perfectly. I can't do it when it's like, hey, do that thing. It just doesn't work.
All right. We tried. But thank you, everyone who stuck it out to the end. And whoever's watched the replay, hopefully you watched the whole thing too.
Yeah, thank you guys. Sorry it was a little down, boring, dull, but we're going to get some sleep and then not any sleep tomorrow night. And we'll see you all at the Triple Crown. You ready?
Yeah. Have a good night.
See you guys.